Cougar fans, welcome back to part 2 with Weylin Lapuaho. I'm Ethan Erickson, and so we kind of took off last segment about Utah State going into your first spring ball and fall camp, and so we're gonna go into your first season, at Utah State.
Yep.
Pretty sure we played you. We played you that day.
We did. It was just last year.
Last year. Yeah. Played you last year. Take us through kind of your role last year at Utah State.
Coming as super young, I was just trying to do my job and not really worrying about anyone else. Just playing at a 18-year-old. I just played high school football last year. It was kind of pretty big, big moments. Remember playing UConn, coming out and running out. It was so surreal, and just the moment, living in the moment, and the crowd. It was just like, wow, we're really out here playing D1 now. And then we got through UConn, and then our next game was actually the game opener for Alabama.
That was Alabama. Oh, yeah. That's right. I remember that.
So, only my second game ever, I was playing the number one team in the nation.
What was that like? I mean,
it was really crazy. I was like, wow. I was just looking at the schedule last year, thinking about playing these guys, and now I'm about to be the first snap against these guys, their first season snap. And, I was just, in shell shock for sure. I still am thinking about it. Yeah, just running out and being in Alabama, first time ever playing in the SEC, all that. The big stuff football is really that big out there. And it was just crazy, just being in the atmosphere and playing against those top-notch players for sure. And then, probably my next biggest game was you guys at BYU. And, growing up, looking at BYU was another oh, shoot, now we're about to play the Cougars. It was just another crazy game. I mean, just playing as a true freshman, playing really young, it was super fun for sure. But, kind of nerve-wracking though too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So being a true freshman, I mean, there's a lot of obstacles to overcome to get on the field once, let alone start and play and be a key contributor on the offensive line. How were you able to do that? To get to that position being so young?
I mean, I think it was just my confidence for sure. My confidence started, and just going into Utah State, knowing what my end goal in mind was, and just trying to play my heart out and do for my family. But I would say confidence for sure. If you're trying to play young, you're already practicing against D1 guys. So what's really the difference between playing on a Saturday during a game than it is practicing Monday through Thursday? So I just confidence for sure was probably a big key to me playing young.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that.
Yeah.
And so obviously you're not at Utah State anymore.
Yeah.
And so what were kind of the factors that, after season led up to you looking towards the portal, and when did that kind of start happening for you?
Mean, I really wasn't looking at the portal for, our last game. I wasn't really, thinking about hitting the portal. I was really thinking about playing year 2 at Utah State because I was, everyone's thinking about going to the NFL draft, so I was kind of worried even if I was even good enough to get picked up out of the portal because, it was just the portal – back then for me was just scared to think about. You don't want to go in the portal and then no one picks you up and then you end up not even playing the next season. So thinking about that, I was for sure nervous. But then something hit me after the bowl game. I was just like, man, I had a talk with my parents, and I was telling them, I feel like I could just play at a bigger stage, and I think I'm holding myself back a little bit, Nothing towards Utah State and
for sure.
And everyone over there. I mean, I love all my boys. It was definitely hard for me leaving them, but I was just like, I think I could do it, So once I put my name in, and the first team that called was the Cougars, so I was just blessed to even get that phone call and super grateful.
So when they called you, what were you kind of thinking of when? During that phone call?
I mean, I was like, I'm going to be a Cougar for sure. I don't know any other school that would convince me otherwise. I mean, even if it was the SEC, I was like, BYU's going Big 12. I mean, this is everything I would ask for. 30 minutes away from my mom. Everything, just be able to be a Cougar was a true blessing for sure.
Yeah, I remember when you came in, just right off the bat for those winter workouts, you were loud, you were excited, you were ready to be there. And I was like, because I didn't know who you were, I didn't know how old you were, but I was like, this guy. I think I knew you were transferred from Utah State.
Yeah.
And that you started on their O-line. I didn't know how young you were. So I was like, oh, this guy, you already have that, veteran kind of appeal to you. You're already, confident. I could see that. So, I mean, definitely have a lot of good years ahead of you. Yeah. So we'll go into this last spring ball a little bit. first spring ball with the Cougs right after our winter workouts. How do you feel like that went for you?
I felt like my workouts were. I mean, like during the workouts, I was putting in some good work, and our strength staff was getting me right. Going into spring ball, I was like really trying to compete for a spot for sure. There was definitely some ups and downs during spring ball practices. I know I didn't have 15 straight good practices, but I definitely had some good, showing what I was able to do, and just trying to do my best to try to get that starting spot.
For sure. With learning a new offense, what challenges did you face for that?
Luckily, I mean, I think our offense over here is pretty, not like easy, but like easier to understand. It's like super O-line friendly too. So, I mean, it wasn't the super challenging, but it was definitely had to put some extra work into it, make sure I had all the stuff locked down, all the fastballs and, just knowing the defense and knowing the calls, what the center does, and both of the guards.
Gotcha. So kind of to wind out this second segment that we have, what are your what makes you such a good offensive lineman? What are your special abilities? Like, what are your talents? What do you?
I would say aggressiveness and physicality, probably. Just wanting to be out there, smack someone in the mouth, and just get after it for sure.
I love that. And then what are you working on? Like what traits?
Right now, I'm working on a lot of hand punches and my kick step, just trying to be better in the one-on-one, aspect of the game. I feel like I could definitely work on that, and for sure, just getting to know all the plays and having them sound and stuff.
Love that. Well, Cougar fans, that's going to take us out of our second segment here. Weylin, obviously, I appreciate you, man. You're my guy.
You're my guy.
I'm stoked to have you around for a part 3. Cougar fans, I hope you're just as stoked as I am. Be sure to stick around for it. A lot of good conversations going to be flowing, a little bit more about the Big 12 and this season, as well as, kind of the future life, maybe the league, talk about that a little bit.
Hopefully.
Kind of favorite teams and whatnot. But we appreciate you all, and be sure to stick around for part 3. Thanks. Thank you for watching this interview. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss the other 2 parts of this interview, plus all of our other interviews we do with BYU athletes. We also like to give a special thanks to our Cougar Board insiders for making this possible.